Hello everyone, this is Dave, and I'm back. I'd like to say thanks for the kind words on the forums that some of you had shared, and I appreciate it. I'm glad to know that the series has helped some of the newer players to the game. That was the intent. A couple have asked, is the series over? Technically, yes, because the goal was met, and that was just to get a new player up and running with an economy and some basic combat knowledge. However, I will continue making videos as I have time, um, pending on interest and I guess feedback from the forums. So, to be honest with you, I've pretty much reached the limit of my knowledge in the game. There's a couple of things I have left to show, but I am still learning quite a bit. I'm currently working on boarding. I don't have that down well enough to make a good tutorial, so once I do, I will. And I guess this is where I can reach out to some of the older players in the game if you're watching this. Some of you have provided some really nice feedback, and I appreciate it. If there's a concept that you feel like you've really mastered and you want to pitch in, I'd certainly welcome maybe sending me a detailed write-up if you want to take the time to do that, something that just average Joe could follow, like myself. And if I can figure it out well enough, I'll take that concept and make a video, and of course give you credit for providing that information. But again, right now I'm pretty close to what I know how to do. So what I'm going to do now, this is going to begin I guess maybe a mini series on just kind of talking through my current save game. It's going to be kind of stream of conscious, not scripted. Obviously it's kind of hard to do, so it might be a little harder to follow, so apologize if I'm going to be rambling a bit. So let me just get started and pull up my property owned. Normally, if you see this on one of my saved games, you would see a ton of universal traders, which I rename all of them UT and then the number of the ship. You would normally see 30 or 40. However, for this save game, I am Nividium mining, which most people consider to be an exploit. Since Egosoft has released the last patch for the game, 3.1, and they've left it in, it's very arguable. I will say right up front that it drastically changes the game, and I wouldn't recommend a new player doing that right up front. You lose the appreciation for the economy and the fun of dealing with trading, stations for income, that kind of thing, and maybe even some missions that you wouldn't have normally stumbled across for money. However, my goal for this game is to get into some really massive scale combat, and it's just very, very expensive and time consuming. So I went the route of Nividium mining. I basically have unlimited income now. I'm right now at 1.3 billion, but I have another batch of tankers that are out mining Nividium, and they're about half full now. And as soon as these are finished, that number is probably going to push up closer to 2 billion, and then I'll start the cycle over again. Again, that changes the game. It sounds really fun to have unlimited money, and it is, but it really changes it, so I wouldn't recommend it up front. Now, there's some good write-ups about that. If you want me to do a video of that, I guess I can. But really consider it. I would suggest playing the game very thoroughly first, because there's a lot of appreciation to be had. Alright, anyways, I've got a Boreas here. I am working on equipping. He's got all of his shields, and you can see he's almost full of PPCs. I'm still missing quite a few. The goal is to have these on the main weapons ports, and then I'm probably going to put flags or something similar on the top and bottom for defense. And I'll probably put some extra weapons in the bay, and then be able to change on the fly. If, let's say, he gets ambushed by a carrier with a ton of fighters, I can switch over to a weapon that can more readily deal with them, and then switch back to the PPCs to take out the bigger ships. That's my plan with him. Unfortunately, getting those kinds of weapons and equipment, especially the weapons, is a very slow process. Because they're never, it seems, in stock. I don't have any luck with finding... Oh, You know what, I still have a sector trader here. Let me check on him. Ah, he's level 20. Alright, this guy's kind of slid through the cracks here. I'm going to go ahead and change his orders as soon as he sells those husks. I'm going to change him to Universal Trader, and then I'll rename him UT. I think I'm missing ship number 2. It got destroyed. So I'll name him UT2 once that's done. Anyways, back to the point. It's very hard to find some of these things. So what I've done is I have bought haulers, and I've stationed them in equipment docks and military outposts throughout the whole game universe. And their job in life is just to sit there so that I can select them. And I've also renamed them so you can see the primary resource that they buy. So I will just come through periodically and select this guy, trade with station, and I can check on the stock. Of course, they're out of PPCs. And I don't think he hasn't purchased any yet. I've already picked them up. So their job is to sit here and purchase these key items that I'm stocking up for my larger ships. And then I have another hauler that I've affectionately named Gopher, because he goes for this and goes for that. When I'm ready to do a pickup, let's say I've picked up 6 or 8 PPCs throughout, I will basically jump him around and freight exchange with my shoppers, pick up the stuff, bring it back to my new ship, the Boreas or Titan or whatever, M2, whatever new ship that I've got, and deliver those goods. Rather than constantly trying to jump around and you're always missing the items in stock. So these shoppers are there and they allow me to catch them as soon as they get in. I'm sure there's better ways to dealing with that, but that's just how I handle it. Let's see, I believe, oh yeah, I have picked up a Mammoth. Let's talk about stations real quick. I still have my 1 megajoule shield complex. He's got 4 facilities in the complex, and as you can see, he can't keep the items in stock. So this is a money-making complex, and I'm probably, just to continue learning, I'm going to double these at least to start with. That's one of my first goals. But again, as I'm Nividium mining, I pretty much have unlimited income for this game, so this is going to be the last factory that I have made for income. The rest of the factories and stations I'm going to build are to fuel my war effort. I'm going to make some ammunition and, of course, flail and hammer missile factories just to keep things stocked up. I'm definitely going to make probably a complex and hopefully a closed complex for PPC. Let's see, Gauss, and I think energy bolt chain gun ammunition, just so I can keep that stuff in stock. So anyways, that's my current plan for stations. Now back to what I was saying before I saw that little detour I wanted to tell you about. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in one of the previous tutorials, but I'm going to elaborate real quick just to make sure. Yeah, I've purchased an M7, an Aragon Cerebus. It can hold 6 ships. It's like a little mini carrier. And I've renamed him Jump Drive Hauler, and that's really his job. He's got 6 discoverers on board, and they all have jump drives. So when I purchase a new ship, or 3 or 4, I will jump the hauler in. You know what, I don't think I have installed that yet. No, the transport device. My plan is to add a transport device so that I can exchange freight in space, but currently he buys the ship anyways, so, or I'm buying a new ship from a shipyard anyways, so I will dock this guy at the shipyard and then do a freight exchange with the next discoverer in line and give the new ship the jump drive. And then I always keep an ample supply of energy cells in the Cerebus, so I will also give them fuel. And then when I have to purchase a new ship that's way off the beaten path, he can immediately jump to the area where I'm forming my fleets up, which right now is just over in Aragon space. So that's his mission in life. Again, as I talked about the unlimited income, my interest is in mass combat, and so my plan is going to have several M2s, large ships, M6s, which is why I have the SIG factory. I like those on my Centaurs. I don't know, I'm at the point where I'm going to experiment. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just jump into one of the smaller xenon sectors and see how long I can hold out before the losses are too much. Jump back out and start learning, dealing with wings and handling a large amount of ships at one time. This is my carrier. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's full, 60 out of 60 ships. Currently, I only have Nova Vanguards in, but the ultimate goal, once I start actually using these, is to divide this up, either 50-50 or maybe in thirds. I may have 20 Vanguards and then 20 and 20 of two different types of ships, equipped differently to handle different situations, and I'll assign them to different wings so that I can react to whatever happens in sector. And again, that's still a learning experience for me. I think I've covered everything I wanted to in this first video. That's kind of a quick overview of my current save game. Just kind of scan through here real quick, make sure I'm not missing something. Check on these guys again. Yeah, I haven't been SATA, so that's going to go very slow. I think this guy is pretty close. It's either him or the Colossus. He's pretty close on PPC, so I need to do another pickup run for my shoppers, pick up the rest of the PPCs and get him ready. Between now and probably the next video, I'm going to go ahead and build as many PPC and ammunition factories as I can and get those churning out. So that I can start having some fun with some big raids here. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I'll catch up with the next video, and yeah, please continue to give me some feedback. Again, unfortunately, I'm pretty close to the limit of my knowledge. I'm not running. I'm running a vanilla game for sure, no add-on scripts. So I'm not sure about the ones that were specifically requested. I don't think they're in the vanilla. If they are, I'm curious if the Steam version of the game and the DVD version are identical. I am using the Steam version. I'm running it with achieves and all that. So if it is, again, I'm going to have to depend on a more experienced player to maybe give me a write-up or point me in a direction where I can learn that, and I will. And as soon as I grasp it well enough, I'll make a video, especially if there's a lot of interest for it. Alright, that's it for this. I'll see you in the next video, and do my best to have those factories up and running, and hopefully go do a massive combat run and see what happens. Alright, we'll see you there.